I'm Charles Eldermeyer. I'm the bird cams project leader here at the Lab of Ornithology. In my role, I do everything from the technical setup of bird cams, the communication planning, all that kind of stuff, as well as reaching out to find new cams to hopefully make people excited about watching birds. So the osprey, like many large raptors, experienced significant population declines due to DDT. And a very similar thing happened where DDT was causing their eggshells to thin. It was interfering with calcium in their bodies. And so as a result of that, you saw populations of ospreys crash. They also had issues with water. Clean water is needed to support the prey populations. And so what you got was in the 1970s, the Clean Water Act came through, Clean Air Act came through. These two things also combining with DDT disappearing from the landscape wound up resulting in a hugely more beneficial environment for osprey populations to grow.
And that's where we are today. The osprey has rebounded in great numbers and have become a common sight up and down the northeast coast. The fish is its main diet, and to watch an osprey hunt is the picture of concentration and skill, diving into the water to catch its prey. Once captured, the osprey will position the fish head first to make it more aerodynamic until it returns to the nest. Ospreys pair for life, and you will start to see these raptors in early spring and stay until the fall. As a migratory bird, their home in the winter is Florida, the Caribbean, South America, and the Gulf Coast. Ospreys live from 15 to 20 years old on average and can rack up to 160,000 migration miles during its lifespan. Ospreys breed in the north, and they choose its nest according to its location to the water and usually come back to the same nest. Man-made structures are a favorite spot for the ospreys, and you'll often see them on telephone poles, antennas, and nest platforms, as well as in natural environments. The female lays around 3 eggs, and they don't hatch all at once. The older hatchling dominates its younger siblings and often gets most of the food the parents bring. If the food is abundant, all the chicks receive the proper amount of food and they will live in relative harmony.
Many birds return to the same nest if they are successful, and ospreys are no different. Generally speaking, if they've been successful in a nest and if the nest is still there, it's much easier to refurbish a nest than it is to go and create a brand new one. And you'll see this through many, especially big species that invest a lot of time and energy in building a nest. They'll come back to those nests. However, if they fail, so meaning if they're not successful in raising their young to the point where they can fly away, sometimes that's enough to cause them to want to create a new nest somewhere else, almost like cleaning the slate, trying again somewhere new. But generally speaking, even that sometimes isn't enough to dissuade them from a good nest site.
All of the images you have been seeing from the nest perspective was given to us by the Osprey Zone. Paul Henry started this webcam because of his love for the osprey.
I've always been just kind of fascinated with ospreys because of their relationship to the sea and the fishing and my love for the ocean. And, you know, being around these parts for all these years and seeing all these ospreys coming and going from their nests, nobody really had a clue what was going on inside the nests until people started putting these cameras up. And when you see what's going on in the nest and you get this very raw picture into nature, I think any normal person is going to be incredibly attracted to that information, to that window. It's just a fascinating world that when people discover, usually they're very, very attracted to. You know, not only do people relate, I think, to the ospreys, but they love the fact that this family is struggling with nature and winning.
On the Water and in the Field plans a full episode on the osprey in the near future. We will talk more to Charles Eldermeyer at the Cornell Lab of Ornithology and Paul Henry from the Osprey Zone about the osprey, as well as other shorebirds we have in our area. So see you then.